Story time of me working for EBIN, New York as the only black person in corporate. Honestly, y'all, it took a lot out of me to even make this video. It's been 3 months since I left the job. They actually fired me. Wrongful termination, but we'll get to that. It has just been a very long journey. EBIN, New York is a very popular beauty brand. They are very known for their 24-hour edge controls. I'll put it right here. And they're also very known for their wig sprays. So hairstylists, listen up, because a lot of you, even if you're not a hairstylist, if you're a black woman, black people in general, listen up, because I was treated so horribly, guys. Like, I would go to the bathroom every day at work and cry. It was to the point where I just couldn't take it anymore. That's how bad it was. So I initially seen a job posting on LinkedIn for being their content creator, basically like the face of the brand. Just do like a quick couple of videos for them. So the HR lady, the company's very small. If that, like, the company is like 80 people or whatever. So there was only one HR person at the time. And this lady, she reached out to me on LinkedIn and she was like, oh, can you come in for an interview? Like, we would love to talk to you. So I'm like, yeah, sure. So I go in there and she's just like telling me all about the brand. And I realized that she kept saying like, oh, we're trying to make it more diverse in the office. We're trying to make it, she just kept saying that. We're just trying to make it more diverse in the office. So I'm just looking around and I'm like, well, there are a lot of Korean people. How are you guys doing this? Like, what do you mean? There's no black people at all? So she's showing me like, oh, they have like in-house beauty hairstylers, nail techs, lash techs, whatever, and they test out the products. They're not on a corporate side though. I didn't know this. I'm just thinking like, oh, okay, so I see some black women in the office, you know, cool. So I'm looking around, it's just nothing but Korean people. That still didn't bother me because I still seen like some black women in the office. So I'm like, cool, it doesn't matter. So she seen my resume and she was like, how do you feel about actually working full-time as a marketer, social media marketer? And I'm just like, yeah, that's fine. Like, I could come into the office every day and, you know, do marketing. That's what I went to school for, communications and marketing. So I took on a job. And the first day that I went to work, they was just basically showing me how to do stuff, what websites they use and things like that. So I'm already ready to make my first video, post it on TikTok, Instagram, whatever. Wow. I edited this video and I posted it right before I left. And I noticed that it was going viral within 3 hours. Like, as soon as I posted it, it was going up. So I'm like, I'm getting excited because I'm like, oh, this is my first day and I'm already, you know, showing off, like doing my job. And I was looking at it all night. That's how excited I was. I kept scrolling, going on their page and looking at the video like I'm doing my big one. It was around 8 p.m. that I realized that the video was deleted. So I'm like, what's going on? I was reading the comments the whole time, y'all. Everyone was laughing at the video. They were saying whoever's on the marketing team needs a raise. They were saying all these positive things, right? So I go into work the next morning, and as I'm walking to my desk, I have to pass my supervisor's desk, and I have to pass another coworker that thought she was my supervisor. Let's get into that. We could get into that, but I'm gonna just keep going. So I'm going to my desk, and I see that my coworker is showing my supervisor the video that I posted on TikTok from the account or whatever. So I'm like, they're just like literally looking at it or whatever, like reading the comments. And I'm like, hey, good morning. Yeah, why did the video delete? And all I know is that they looked at me and they were just like, there was too many negative comments. So then I go on the account and I, you know, look at the comments. I'm like, there's no negative comments. Someone was saying like, oh, the person that posted it, like the marketing team, I mean, the company better be black owned or something like that, because the video was funny. It was about SZA, I think it was. Like, it was about a black person doing a wig. It was some creative thing that I did. It was just all jokes, and it was good for marketing. So I was like, there's no negative comments here. And, you know, I felt some type of way because I'm like, it was my first day. I made a video go viral. Y'all needed help. y'all needed help going viral and, you know, keep marketing these products and stuff. And I'm over here doing it on the first day, and y'all trying to figure out one little thing. Y'all see one little comment that says something, you know, a little negative to y'all, and y'all want to delete it. That's not how this works. Like, yeah, we got to get some tough skin around here if y'all want to keep going up in this company. So I let that slide. But ever since that day, I realized, like, everyone was just in competition with me. I don't know if that makes sense, but it was just like they were no longer trying to teach me anything. They were no longer First of all, I realized, let me just backtrack. Ever since that day, they had started speaking Korean the whole time in the office, in the marketing room. Korean. I had no conversation with them. They would speak to me whenever they told me to just do something. They would have meetings in full-blown Korean. Even the CEO would come in and speak in Korean. And nobody thought to even, you know, like, look and be like, oh, let's just speak in English for now. You know, we do have a black lady here that's just not Korean, and she doesn't know anything that we're saying. So I just started feeling uncomfortable. I'm like, there's no way that, you know, everybody was speaking English in the beginning, the first day that I was there, you know, being very nice. And now all of a sudden, everyone's just speaking Korean the whole time, giggling, looking at me, laughing about things. And I have no idea what any of them are saying. So literally the next week, I came into the office. I go in the bathroom. I come out. My supervisor, my coworkers, no one in a marketing team is in the office. So I'm like, I know for sure the day before, my supervisor was telling me like, oh, we're going to go to New York to set up for this TV show that we're doing or whatever. So I'm like, I know they did not leave me in the office by myself while they're in New York. Like, they went to the New York office. So I contacted my supervisor right away, and he's like, oh, yeah, we did leave you. He didn't really have anything to say. That's the thing that really got to me, is because, like, he really just was like, oh, yeah, we left you. Just do some work, edit some videos or whatever. Like, he didn't have no real reason to be leaving me. Like, he just did not care. So I'm just like, I feel some type of way now, because it's like, y'all speaking Korean, y'all leaving me out of things. What, like, is this a team or not? So once I realized, like, they're separating me, I have coworkers that's talking to me any kind of way. The supervisor is just letting the coworkers talk to me any kind of way. I guess she thought that she was a supervisor, but we were literally on the same position. The first day, that was the only time she was nice to me. I guess once my video went viral, something switched. She was just like, oh, there's competition. I don't know, but I don't work like that. Like, if we're a team, we are a team. There's no reason for y'all to be like treating me any type of way. I'm new here, number one. I'm still trying to get the feel of things. I guess they felt intimidated. I don't know. But at that point, I just felt like, why am I in this office every day? Y'all are speaking Korean. Y'all don't want to speak to me at all. I'm at the lunch table trying to figure out where I'm going to go sit at, because the Korean culture, like, they all sit together. They talk. I sat with them like 1 or 2 days, the first 2 days, and they were just speaking Korean. They did not care. I just felt like that was so rude. So at this point, I'm feeling very uncomfortable about working there, but I'm still just like, you know, I'm very new. Hopefully it'll change. I don't know. Like, I don't know what's going on. So I went to HR and I complained. Y'all know when people say, like, HR is not on your side, like, HR is not your team, they're just here to protect the company. That's 100% true. In this case, I went to the HR lady and I was telling her, like, I feel very uncomfortable. There are incidents that's going on, and I just feel like something has to be done, because this is not the way I know that, you know, a corporate is supposed to be ran. And I'm not supposed to be getting treated like this. I'm a new employee. I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. And I still feel like I'm being left out. Why is that? So she's just like, oh, I understand. Like, I'll speak to the marketing team. I'll speak to your supervisor. I'll try to get them back on track and try to get them, you know, to work with you. When I tell you guys, I worked since August. I was complaining all the way up until January about these things. I even had to take a mental health leave because of this. It was messing with me every single day. The way they treated me, it was like they were micromanaging me a lot. So the Korean culture, like work culture, is very different. I get that. But the way I'm saying they're micromanaging me, every employee at EBIN New York, they have to write down their daily tasks in Asana, right? the daily task, you have to put each hour what you're doing. You know what I'm saying? So mine, I had to make sure I put, like, I edited 10 videos today, I posted this, I emailed this person, I reached out to influencers, I did this. Like, my Asana had a whole book of things. And I would get emails when my coworkers would post on their Asana, like upload their stuff, and you can just literally see they would have like 3 bullet points, quick things like schedule emails, this, that, like very broad. And I was the one that had to put everything in detail, make sure the links was there, every single thing, guys. I just felt like, what is going on? You know what made it worse? The CEO of the company decided that I need to start having presentations with him, the vice president, HR, and the whole marketing team. And I had to let him know exactly what I was doing. I had to show him every post that I made, everything that I edited, everything, you know, outreach to influencers, every single thing. So at this point, I'm a little frustrated because it's like, now it's new other Koreans coming in doing the same thing, you know, like marketing and things like that in the same marketing room. And no one has had to do this presentation. I even asked people that were there before me, I'm like, have you guys ever had to do this presentation? They're like, no, I don't know why you had to do it. That's a problem. He's basically just telling me, like, I don't know why you have to do all this, but that's very insane of you to have to sit there and like literally show them what you're doing when you literally are writing it down just how any other co-worker is doing. What really made me feel some type of way is the CEO still didn't care. Like he just had this look on his face, like a disgust look. And I was just like, are you okay? Like, what's going on? He's just like, I just don't see. Like, I just don't get what you do, or I don't get your job. And I was just like, well, didn't you hire me? Like, I'm pretty sure the company, being that he's the CEO, I get that. You guys are probably like, well, he probably didn't hire, he don't know. He goes through every single thing. He's there. Like, he's on your back while you work. He knew that I was going to get hired for the position, what I do, and everything like that. So for you to be talking to me saying, like, I just don't see what you do, and I don't get your job, and are you even happy here? Because if you're not happy here, then you can get out. He told me that. At this point, I just felt like, I sat there and asked him, I said, are you talking about the HR complaints that I've made about me feeling uncomfortable in a marketing room? And right then and there, you know, HR, everyone is in the room. HR is just like, no, he's not talking about that. No, he's not talking about that. So I just didn't know what to do at that point, because it's like, I don't want to quit. I still need a job. But at this point, it's like, they don't want me here. They want me to quit. So what do I do? To make things like a little bit more clear for you guys, EBIN New York had just took ownership of a black-owned company. They were the first ones to do Jamaican black castor oil, and you know, they have hair products, all that good stuff. I don't really want to talk about the brand that they just, you know, kind of pushed me onto, because I was complaining so much to HR about me not feeling included with working under EBIN New York specifically. But basically, they pushed me onto another brand that they took ownership of, and I did the social media for that specific brand. I was still in the same office with all the Koreans, you know, in the marketing room, in that same room, but now I just don't have a team. They told me that I'll have a new supervisor. The supervisor had no experience in marketing. He doesn't know nothing that I'm doing at all. He thinks that I'm just sitting there on my phone all day, because he doesn't realize that I use my phone to edit videos, and I use my iPad to edit all these videos and do all the graphics and things. And he's just sitting there trying to go back into CEO and the vice president and tell them, oh, she doesn't do anything, or like, she just does the bare minimum. Like, it just seemed like they looked for any little thing just to try to get me out of there. He told someone that he was trying to get me fired, if that makes sense, and it got back to me. This same new supervisor, guys, guess what he did? He told me to read over a resume. He literally handed me a paper, and he told me to read the name to see if it was a black name. A black name. What is? So I'm looking at it, I'm like, a black name? What do you mean by that? A black name? And what are you going to do with it? And I was like, no, the last name actually was like, you can tell it was like a Hispanic name. But I was just like, what's your point, you know? And he never said anything. He was like, no, that's a black name. And then he snatched the resume back, and then that was just that. He was very rude, guys. And it was just like, it was unbelievable, the stuff that I was going through. I'm going to give you guys another example. I had to travel to Atlanta for a photo shoot for a new line that we were doing. And this new supervisor, he had to book my hotel and stuff. So I had to travel by myself. Usually, like, I travel with coworkers and stuff. I was the only one that was traveling. I had to meet people that were already in Atlanta and do everything else. So I'm just fine with that. It is what it is. So I get to Atlanta. I have the Uber take me to the address of the hotel. Guys, when I tell y'all, this looked like a motel. It was bugs in the room. It was stuff all in the bed. It wasn't a hotel, I'll give you that. Like, it wasn't like just one tall building, nothing like that. It was like literally little rooms each everywhere. So at this point, I was traveling all day. It was like 6, 7 p.m. I'm trying to walk. It was like later than that, actually, because it was like getting dark. So they had me all the way in the back. So I'm already feeling uneasy. I'm by myself out in Atlanta, and this is where y'all put me in. Y'all have all this money and y'all want to put me in a hotel like this? Y'all playing in my face. I was cool with 2 other workers that's in a different department. So I'm contacting them. I'm like, when y'all have to travel with, you know, EBIN, do you guys get treated like this? Or are you guys in a nicer hotel? Everyone's just shocked, completely shocked. They're like, I've never been in a hotel like that. I don't know where they have you, but you need to leave. And at that point, I'm just like, I definitely need to leave. I don't feel safe here. The part that they had me in was all the way in the back. It was just a mess. I'm going to insert some pictures in here so y'all can see it as I'm talking. But so once I realized I don't feel comfortable staying at this hotel, motel, whatever it was, I called him. And he's like, oh, I don't know what to tell you. I already booked it and there's nothing we could do. Bye. And hung up. I kid you not. That's all he did. While I'm sitting there on the verge of crying, saying, you know, I feel unsafe, the room is dirty, and, you know, it's not really a hotel that I feel comfortable in, anything like that. He just said, I don't know what to tell you. You're going to have to deal with it. Bye. Do you know how crazy I felt for my supervisor to do that, to book something like that, and then just say, I don't know what to tell you, and hang up in my face? At that point, it was just clear as day that they did not care about me at all. They just wanted me to get some work done, and that was it. If I didn't want to quit, they were going to just show me that you need to just quit, because that's it. I have like a whole list of stuff in my iPad that I wrote down each and every day. That's how bad it was, guys. Like, it was always something going on inside this office with me. It was like they were just attacking and attacking. And I had to just go to the bathroom every day and just cry and call my mother or call someone and just tell them what's going on. They couldn't believe I was going through all of that. And just to back it on up really quick, guys, there are 2 people that were working for the brand that they switched me to, if that makes sense. Like, they were on a contract because they still had to show the Koreans how to work, you know, how to work their company, if that makes sense. So I was in close contact with those 2 women, and one of the head of departments of marketing, he actually asked me, was I having a meeting with my grandmothers today? And by grandmothers, he meant those 2 black women, my grandmothers. Why would that be my grandmothers? And why is that appropriate to say in a workplace, anywhere? You don't know if my grandmother's dead, anything. I just couldn't believe that they would be talking to me like this. It was just insane.